Is it just me, or does someone need to tell Jeniffer to chill out? Remember how worried she was that Jesse was going too slow? She was really genuinely fearful that he hadn't shown any physical intimacy and maybe it was all going to go the same way as her ex Tim.
Man up or something. I hope everything doesn't end as boring as it was with Tim.
Well, it turns out there was absolutely no need for her to worry. In less than 24 hours from first meeting in person, not only have they now slept together, which, depending on whose version of events you believe, it was either great, the best he's ever had, or it was okay.
That's just the best, babe. I was thinking the whole hotel room was gonna be on fire. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Would you say it's the best you've ever had?
Yeah, it was, yeah, I think it was, yeah.
One of the best.
And now, it's time for him to meet her mum and her daughter, Violet. Yeah, things seem to be going very, very fast, don't you think?
You feel like this is all happening too fast for you?
I love the question. After one day, it's not even one day actually, but I'm thinking about it, it's not even one day.
For his part, Jesse is kind of nervous about the whole thing. As I'm sure you remember, the last time he met his partner's kids, it didn't go too well.
I'm just helping you. We're doing this together, right? I've worked in restaurants, so okay.
I'm done. And
Mommy was
I was
just a little
cooking a
upset.
steak. You
I
wanted
get
to cut
it.
it for yourself,
No,
right?
because I didn't want to get portrayed like, no, I know how my kids like their steak.
And this time round, he's not being helped by the fact that he can't really speak Spanish, so communicating with Jennifer's mum and daughter is proving to be a bit of a challenge.
It's nerve-wracking, because if I can connect, it would make the relationship between me and Jennifer very complicated. Hi, so nice to meet you. So nice to finally meet. So happy.
Okay, what do you think?
Jennifer's mum doesn't look too sure about the whole thing, and to be honest, she's probably thinking what we all are. Isn't it a bit early to be introducing this guy to your daughter after only 24 hours of meeting him? I mean, look, I totally get she makes it very, very clear. If you don't love her daughter, then there's no relationship, and I get that, but it's all happening so fast. Jesse seems overwhelmed by the whole situation, and although he deals with the situation quite well, I actually don't agree with him when he says,
but after one day, she feels so comfortable that she's willing to let me meet her daughter. That means a lot to me.
I see this almost as a test. She's testing Jesse. She wants to know, what is this guy like around my kid? Is he likely to adapt? Is he going to take on that father figure? Because if he's not, I'd rather know now and end it. I don't see it quite the same way as Jesse does. I don't think it's necessarily about comfort levels.
If you love me but you don't love my daughter, then you don't love me. I mean, it's the set. I want to watch how he behaves around my baby.
It just feels like she knows their time together is limited, he's only there on a 2-week vacation, and so she'd rather just introduce her daughter straight away, see how he reacts, and then assess the relationship thereafter. My only concern, I guess the question is it right for her to introduce this new man into her daughter's life after only meeting him for a couple of hours? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Either way, it definitely seems like the introduction to her daughter went well, and Jessie seems to have passed her test. She particularly liked the fact that he had gifts ready to give Violet, and now, having seen how well that all went, she's decided now's the time to be honest about the other guy that she's dating. Yeah, I look forward to seeing that one next week. Moving on, let's talk about Natalie and Johnny. This week we join them as the pair go on their second date to a turtle sanctuary. And Johnny seems to have picked a great date because, as I'm sure you remember, Natalie loves animals.
I do miss my pet rat, Pooh, girl. She also wanted to be free and she ran away. Like me. We both ran out of the ranch.
On the way to the sanctuary, while they're in Johnny's car, Natalie decides it's the perfect time to come clean and reveal that she's still legally married to Mike.
Like, you know, I was married. I am married, actually. Is it a problem?
You've got to love the way that she's just done that. Like, zero context, very abrupt, very matter of fact. Hey, I'm married. Is it a problem? I definitely feel for Johnny. I think he handled it quite well. He asked the right questions and he showed empathy. And so that helped Natalie relax a little bit. And for a while, it seemed like the date was going quite well. They were having a good time. Natalie was learning new English words and she appreciated the fact that Johnny wasn't condescending.
Like, snap. Oh, snap.
Oh, you know, snap. Like... I don't give you a snap.
So
I don't snap, you know?
Johnny doesn't make me feel stupid when I ask him something that means in English. I remember Michael would make me feel stupid if I did ask him. This is one of the things I really like about Johnny.
But things took a very strange turn. As Johnny got sweatier and sweatier, the date appeared to get worse and worse. Natalie went from 1 minute being the star to the next minute being a wounded turtle.
This one is a star. Really it's like me.
Yes.
You know, I feel like this turtle sometimes. Like
Why is that?
Hit. Because like I got hit from my marriage.
Oh.
I'm like the turtle. I'm a good catch, but who needs rehabilitation?
And I've got to say, it was rather an unfortunate analogy that Johnny used when he spoke of...
You are a hurt turtle. So I was trying to break you out of your shell. That's what I wanted to do.
Just like a turtle dies out of its shell, it seemed like this relationship was beginning to die. Natalie began getting very uncomfortable at the fact that Johnny was touching her.
Unfortunately, he started to make me feel uncomfortable because he was touching me too much at the sanctuary.
And look, in his defense, I think it was more of a cultural thing. I don't necessarily feel he was over the top. I just think she wasn't quite ready for it and it was very different to maybe what she's used to back in Ukraine.
Because I don't feel comfortable when Johnny touched me. Because in my country, we don't really touch until it's serious in a relationship. In my country, the men in Ukraine are very confident. They would not touch you. He sees you as a mother of his kids. He respects you. Why would he try to... No.
Anyway, as the date progressed, it became more and more clear that she's not really into the date, or maybe she's not ready to date. It seemed like she's not yet completely over Mike. There's still some scars there, some emotional baggage.
I'm just very curious.
When I left Michael, I was treated really bad by him. For this, I need to heal, because I'm not healed yet.
He just destroyed me emotionally. You know, it's hard.
And even from her body language, her posture, she seems very, very guarded. So when Johnny says to her, hey, look, don't make me the bad guy too, just let loose, have some fun. Well, at that point, things took a very strange turn, and fast.
Come here. Come here.
Stop, it's not fucking funny.
Ow, that kind of hurt.
I don't know what Johnny was trying to do there, but it clearly offended Natalie, and she immediately said,
I wanna go home.
And that appears to be that. She's very adamant that's the end of Johnny.
It is the end of Johnny. I will not go out with him again.
Now, I'm not going to lie, this caught me off guard, and I'll tell you why. Johnny was actually leaving comments on my last video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link for you to check out. It's called The Bizarre World of Natalie, and his comment was 100%. Given the title of that video, I took that to mean 100% this is a bizarre world, she's a bizarre lady. But actually, when I pressed him on that, he actually clarified, and I asked, look, are you still with her? And he said, you were 100% right, I'm still in it, she didn't turn me off. So the fact that he was saying last week he's still in it, I was expecting their relationship to go from strength to strength. I wasn't expecting this. So let's wait and see. Despite what Natalie says, I'm not sure if this is actually over. One thing that is over, however, so he says, is Big Ed's desire to date younger women.
And it felt really good to be sitting across on a date with an adult. I'm over the young ones, the attractiveness. I want something that's real, that's not going to fade.
It seems like Ed is in limbo about Mia. Ever since their date, she's been ghosting him. I guess she's not a fan of crying on the first date, Ed.
Okay.
Sorry. I might be a crybaby, oh my God. I'm a very emotional guy.
Luckily though, Ed can rely on both the love of his dog, Teddy, and the love of his mum. And it's that parental love and motherly guidance that leads to his mum recommending that going forward, Ed should date a Latina like her.
Look for somebody perhaps Latino like me. Latino women are faithful to their husbands faithful to each other.
I think my mom's right. The Latina culture, it's all about family and about love and respect.
And so, taking that to heart, Ed jumps on a FaceTime with a friend of his based in Mexico and asks her to matchmake. And much to his surprise, there and then, on the spot, she wants to introduce him to one of her friends. Why, I hear you ask? Why would she do that to her friend? Why would she introduce him to Ed? Well, he's got a lot to offer, you know.
Let me take care of them, you know, and give them the world.
Not much then, Ed, just the world. What I find quite funny about this is, although he identifies as being a Latino himself, and don't forget his mum comes from Mexico, so that makes him half Mexican, he really struggles to speak Spanish.
To really explore my mom's culture, and which is my culture.
And look, this new lady seems very nice, but what's her name again? Coyote?
Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. How are you?
How are you doing, Coyote? Am I saying your name right?
Kaori. Yes.
Coyote. Coyote, you want to meet my dog Teddy? You want to meet me, doggy?
¿Quieres conocer su perrito?
Perito. See, me too. I was raised Catholic, but no mucho religion, only I pray every day.
Well, anyway, the brief chat that he has with her and the few pleasantries they exchange is enough to convince him he feels a connection.
From the moment I got on the phone with Coyote, I feel a real connection with her and some sparks. She's beautiful.
But look, maybe someone can tell me in the comments down below, is this a common phrase in the States? Or is he just comparing her to a dog?
Coyote is actually exactly what I need in my life. So I want to stay connected. I want to keep tension on the lead, okay, which means stay in touch.
Tension on the lead, Ed. You realise she's not a dog, right? I've never heard that phrase, and if he's just compared her to a dog, then not cool, Ed. Not cool at all. But would you expect any different from this guy at this point? Finally this week, we've got Syngin. Now, following the meeting with Tanya's mum, Syngin reveals that he and Tanya are no longer speaking, and so he decides to meet up with his friend Phil. And after a few drinks, Phil convinces Syngin that it's time to download some dating apps. First, they fill out his profile, making sure to include all important details.
Wow, look at this. What are your ideal plans for a child? Don't want. There we go, thank you.
And then we see Syngin go from 0 to 100 real quick. He goes from initially being hesitant to suddenly being a kid in a candy store.
I don't know. Feels weird, man. Just go for it.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Like excited, you know? Let's go with the fun. It's like a kid whose mom said, you only eat vegetables, but he ran away from home and he broke into the fucking sweetie store and he's eating all the sweets he can, you know?
Right. So what kind of lady is he looking for?
You know, I really want to meet a blonde-headed Southern girl. I think they are very sexy. And then also open to dating a gothic girl. A nun, if nuns even date. I don't know, you know. I'm up to try whatever is out there.
How funny is it that it's been years and yet Syngin is still as indecisive as when he first arrived in America? Do you remember that scene, one of Syngin's very first on the show, where Tanya's friends were asking him what he wanted to do for work?
I think I would like to start out maybe like bartendering, you know, apply, see if I can become a fireman. Like, I want to go do like Hollywood auditions and I even want to go try out opera. Going for opera.
Yeah, it seems like he's still just as non-committal. And while that's clearly his personality at this stage, I do see how that inability to make a decision and then just follow through, that would start to grind on people. Either way, I hope for Syngin's sake that he has more luck with his dating life than he did becoming a fireman, a Hollywood actor, or an opera singer. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favour, hit that like button to show your support, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing for lots more 90 Day Fiancé videos. If you've missed any of the Single Life episodes so far, I'll include links in the description below. Thank you for watching, I'll catch you on the next video.